Who says you can't daily drive a rock crawler? This thing has done everything from daily driving to a 13-hour drive to Moab, tackling the toughest trails out there. What's going on, guys? I'm Rex from R1 Concepts, and this is our 2019 Jeep Gladiator. Today we're going to be going over how it's built and why it's built. Jumping right into this, we have our stock Danny 44 axles. Since it's still a daily driver, our build is purposely built to be like an attainable for the everyday person. This is our 6-piston, 356mm big brake kit. This still allows you to run a 17-inch wheel with the right offset and right back spacing. Clearances are very tight. With the 2-piece rotor design that we have here, a lot more heat dissipation, vane control design to help cool the hub, 6-piston design, a lot more clamping force than factory. Also with many different color options. As you can see, this is our anodized red finish with a painted white logo. Stainless steel brake lines. Of course, these are extended just to compensate for the lift and the added travel. Having a big brake kit on the trail, with this vehicle has been a huge difference since we also use it for rock crawling and overlanding. A lot of the added weight on this has put a lot of stress on the brakes. We never really had any kind of issues of not having enough brake. Since we are running a big brake kit front and rear, a lot more control. I mean, most rock crawlers know you're using 2 feet while you drive. Overall, having a big brake kit on this build has been a great addition. Going over to the suspension, we are running the Rock Crawler X Factor series. We're putting about a 4.5-inch lift on this Jeep, a little bit higher than your normal Jeep. There's a lot of debate between rock crawling, like LCG builds and stuff like that. We found this height and everything on here has worked best for us. We're still running a mid-arm system, so everything's in their factory location. Fully serviceable joints, rebuildable, everything you need with the extra strength. Running the Rock Crawler tie rods and track bar. We are running the factory track bars. Those don't really hold up well when you start getting into heavier terrain, especially with running 40s and doing the trails that we do. You need to have suspension that can take the abuse. Paired with all this, the Rock Crawler suspension, we've also running Progressive Suspensions STR 47 series shocks using their FST technology. There's no adjustability required because it's all internal and it senses the kind of terrain you're on. With all this too, we've also added some accessories from Rock Jock. We have their adjustable bump stops. Adding with the 40s, I did notice a few times where we were bumping way too far into the fender and actually damaging the liners a little bit. We're also running their bushing delete on the axles. It's a really nice upgrade, totally serviceable, greasable, just more things to help, keep your rig on the trail and off the trail. With the rear suspension on this setup, because we are running a lot more weight, with a rooftop tent, topper, we actually reached out to Coil Spring Specialties, told them the issues we're having because the original springs on there, over the time, they started not holding up to the weight, started sagging. We didn't want to run airbags or anything like that, so they were able to help us dial in the suspension and the height and everything and handle the weight of it, just because how you see it now, we added like maybe 800 pounds, but when we go on these media trips, we're adding at least 200 to 300 pounds in gear. So just with that, the suspension was bottoming out a lot more than it needed to be. So they were able to dial us in, make a custom spring for us that would work for our setup. Along with that, we're also running the Rock Jock anti-rock rears. Gives us a lot more flex with progressive suspension shocks. We reached out to them. They're able to give us a little bit more stiffer valving than what's needed just to handle the extra weight, especially being very top heavy with the height and everything. And to limit everything on the suspension, because we have a lot of weight, we have PRP straps. So for wheels and tires, we are running the KMC IMS wheels. These are the non-beadlock version. Since it's a daily driver, the hassles with those beadlock wheels is, constantly checking the torque on those bolts. Still has the rock ring to kind of protect from the rock rash, as you can see. And then paired with it, we're running our 40-inch Nitto trail grapplers. These tires perform very well on the trail. We're running 40s, on the Danny 44 axles. Usually it's, a thing to not do. But if you wheel very carefully, you're not gun-ho cowboying it, you're gonna be fine. Tire contact, the 40s had a little bit better contact on the rocks. Gives you a little bit more clearance, This thing's long. You still get hung up, but with 40s, it helps a little bit. So going over the drivetrain on this, we have done the fat delete. We're running the Yukon chromoly axles, front and rear. The Yukon hardcore diff cover in the front. We were running the factory diff covers for a while, but you know, hitting rocks all the time, stock one started to take its toll, so we upgraded to a hardcore diff cover. So underneath all that, we're running 513 gears, front and rear. This one has given like the best power and balance, you know, with running 40s. In the front, we are also running a aftermarket drive shaft done by Alcantar Gear. Running this drivetrain setup on the trails, you know, it gives you the confidence you need. Just with the fat delete and chromoly axles, it gives the extra strength that's needed to turn the 40s. We do get into some tough situations, you know, being that we bring this on most of the trails that we need to go on. The drivetrain needs to perform just as good. So we did everything we can to, you know, preventative so we don't break down on the trail. So we're running the GenRide high clearance front bumper, really changed the look of the Jeep as well. It has taken a few hits. It's held up very nicely. Moving on to the side here. So we're running the GenRide high clearance front fenders, really changed the look of it, paired with their new inner fenders. This helps dress up the vehicle while allowing a lot of heat to escape from the motor. On the side, we're running their sliders as well. You can see those have taken a good hit over the years, and they actually perform very well for a side step. A lot of our media guys like to hang off the side of the rigs. GenRide rear fenders, and then a GenRide rear bumper, pretty much all tied in together. It's all aluminum minus the sliders, so it protects the vehicle and keeps it lightweight. Moving on to the roof, we have a Sherpa Series roof rack. This is their quick disconnect series. Under, we're actually running the R-Tech full skids, engine skid, transmission, transfer case, along with the gas tank skid. You'll see under there, those have been taking the most abuse, as this is pretty much a land yacht. It's a great vehicle, but for rock crawling, everyone kind of knows it's just kind of like really long. Paired with all this armor, we're running Baja Design lights. We have a LP4 series here. This one has a nice spread. For me, since I'm mostly driving this rig, my vision at night isn't great. So I like to kind of set up the lighting to have at least a 180-degree view. We're running yellows on all the lights in the front. That actually works really well with cutting through the dust, acting as good chase lights while we're running through if we're in the desert. We have the S2 DOT series lights. These ones are a great addition because, you know, especially on foggy mountain drives, that light helps cut through a lot. And then we're running a 10-inch S8 series bar. You know, the factory headlights, we had the HIDs. Actually, those factory LED, I'm sorry. We upgraded to the Alpha Rex Nova series, and these have performed at that level, if not better. So moving on to another addition in the front, we are also running a Warn Xeon 10S winch with a Factor 55 Ultra Hook. This thing has come in handy a number of times, being that the Gladiator is long and heavy, you know, it's gonna get hung up. So going on to the rear of the vehicle, it's a lot of purpose and built function into how it is. We did a side exit carbon exhaust just to give a little more clearance and add a little bit of flair. Huge shout out to Team MPE who did the actual install for the side exit. And then moving on up, we're actually running the OVS topper. This has been a great addition, keeping all our gear in there safe and secure. Since we've been doing a little more overlanding, we are running the OVS Lotse tent. This is a good 2-person tent. That's a build breakdown of the rig. You know, this thing's purpose built just to show you that, you know, it is a flagship vehicle, company vehicle, but it's not built with all the bells and whistles. Still daily driving. You'll see this at the shows. You'll see it on the trails. You'll see it camping. Kind of an all-do purpose-built rig. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you guys out there.